I'm going to show you how my game went to this from this. Hi, I'm Zay, and this is my first devlog video for Echo Agent. Yes, I will improve this menu, by the way. Echo Agent is a 2D platformer where the player has unique abilities to shift between dimensions and also spawn echoes. These echoes are basically ghosts which mimic the player's past actions. If you're interested, I have a playtest which you can check out on itch.io. I'm aware there's a groundbreaking bug, but sort of playtests are alright. The first thing I did was hop into Pixel Edit and make some goofy looking sprites, and then in Unity made a tile map system and introduced a basic player controller. Thank you Bendux for your amazing tutorials, by the way. Oh, and he can also open this door. Then I made two more dimensions and worked on the transitions between them. Originally, I thought I wanted the game to be 3D, but it's a 2D plane which you can rotate around the origin, and that way you can find more exits and paths to go through. But you gotta have a bit of intellect to make something like that, right? I thought there was a problem because if you rotate it, then you might end up with a tile that's not completely square. So I just scrapped this idea, and instead I made 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 planes that you could rotate between. But as I was coding it, I thought, hang on, this is just like shifting planes back and forward rather than rotating. So forget this rotating idea, we'll go with shifting planes. That's why if you look through the code, you'll see you rotate clockwise, rotate anti-clockwise. I'm just going to go through and erase all of that, so I just left it as it is. Also, if you were wondering about these colors that the player keeps changing into, these are visual guides to know if there is a block or an object in the dimension behind you or in front of you. This was added so that the player doesn't get stuck into a wall when they shift. I also added effects for the transitions between dimensions. I added a zooming one, and I also added a sliding one. But yeah, I agree, the zooming one is better. Okay, I hear you. It's about time. So I drew the player in Pixel Edit and I animated him. I gave him the required animations like jumping, walking, wall jumping, and you'll even notice that I implemented the color guide into his hat. This isn't 100% yet, I still have to tweak some values and things. Now for level 1. Imagine there's a door in the top right corner there. I'm realizing now that I took ages to add doors and switches, but ignore that. It looks good, right? See, you can shift dimensions and try and make your way there. Here's the next thing which I procrastinated for so long, the ecosystem. As you can see, you can spawn a clone of yourself, and also this little button here, when you push it, it restarts the recording, just in case you mess up. You can press that button and it will start it from there. As you can see, the jumping was not included in that replay. Here is how the echo got to the end of the level. Lo and behold, the menu system. Let me tell you something, right? This is just to connect the buttons up. Obviously this is not how it's going to look, but as you can see, I have made a main menu and a level select menu, and these are also configured so you can open level 1 and level 2. You can also restart the level. I better hear some congratulations, okay? Guys, look at this cutscene I added. As viewers of this video, you get an exclusive view of the pre-draft of this cutscene. Okay, looking at it again, it looks kind of funny. I'm glad I drew the character again. Watch the next part to see the dialogue system and how the echoes work, opening doors. In terms of the ecosystem, if you wanted to know how this works, is that every frame, Unity records the player's position, dimension, and animation. The dimensions being 0, 1, 2, 1 is the center dimension. It records these and then it plays it back for the echo. During some levels it was super laggy, so I reduced it from recording every frame. Instead it records every 2 frames and adjust half the echo speed for it to match with the player. This definitely increased the performance. And now for the bane of my life. Tell me why these enemies were so difficult to code. I mean, they're not even moving. Like, look at this. I drew it 100 times for some reason. I couldn't even decide on a color. And this walking animation? Wasted. I didn't even implement it. Anyway, I got it to work. Originally, I had the bullets growing and launching in code, and this didn't work, so I did it via animation. And it worked pretty nicely, to be honest. I also had a very specific problem that if there was something inside the range and the player shifted dimensions, when he shifted back, then the enemy would not detect anything. How the targeting works is that whatever enters the bubble first, that's what the enemy locks onto, and then if that object leaves, then whatever entered the bubble next, that becomes a new target. To solve this problem, I had to reset the shooting timer in the enemy script when the enemy becomes active, and also in shooting range, I made sure to update what the target was every frame. After about 43 more bug fixes, I had the playtest ready to be published. It's on itch.io, so please feel free to go and play it. By the way, did you know that I set this project to be a 1 week project while my computer was getting fixed? And as of the playtest, it has been 1 month and 1 day, which is great. And I still think I'm going to need another month to make the other 4 stages. For now, I plan to completely polish this first stage. That includes making the menus and UI looking nice, and also adding a nice background to this stage. Thank you for watching, and bye!